sound like a defeated man.
It's true. I just did an ad here locally for DraftKings. DraftKings is coming to our state for the first time, so you can place wagers on. And it's March 11th that it's coming. It's a big deal. I mean, a lot of states get it, and we've gotten it. And it's a huge deal, so you can go on DraftKings and make bets on baseball games, basketball, what have you. Huge undertaking here. So I just heard myself doing the commercial. I recorded the commercial.
Do you remember how you felt when you were done? Was it a rip and read, as we like to call it in the business, or did you kind of put a little extra effort?
I put a little extra effort because at first it was what we call, as you said, a rip and read. I had it in my hand. I read it. Fine.
For instance, Flatiza.
You all recall.
That's a rip and read.
That's called a rip and read.
You rip it. Yep. You think, you know what? I'm a professional. I know how to read. I know what words are.
That's right. That's a rip and read. So, well, if you haven't heard Flatiza, we'll just play a bit of it for you. This was handed to me cold. This is cold copy. Right. All right. It's a weather adjacency.
Dave's Forecast brought to you by Subway, introducing their new Flatizzas, where cheesy and delicious meet crispy and square. Your choice of a cheese, pepperoni, spicy Italian, or veggie Flatizza.
All right. Okay. All right. That's a rip and read.
That's what happens when they go bad. Sometimes, but you know what?
Yeah.
I don't want to say half, but a lot of times the stuff that you hear and that we've all performed on this show, whether recorded or live, is a rip and read.
Rip and read. They hand you a piece of copy last second. You don't have time.
You don't have time.
All of a sudden you read it. It's a Flatiza. So I look at it. It's like, is this a Flatiza or a Flatizza? And then what Chris Demm says is right. I've really gone inside the numbers on this now. I was holding it together until I mispronounced veggie and
Dave's Forecast brought to you by Subway, introducing their new Flatizzas, where cheesy and delicious meet crispy and square. Your choice of a cheese, pepperoni, spicy Italian, or veggie Flatizza.
If you couldn't tell, the rest of us were barely holding it together, too.
That's the best part. Dave could not contain it any longer. You know, if this was an NFL broadcast, there's two things that stand out to me, and that not to pick on Kelly, because we've all had moments like this. Right. But Reggie was when it literally came off the rails. But if you listen carefully, the first time you say Flatizza, you visibly gasp, or audibly gasp, like, what am I doing?
Never seen the word before. I'd never seen the word before.
There's a pause and a breath, and it's like, okay, you're done.
And I know this has been discussed before, but how do you say, is it Flatizza like pizza, or is it Flatiza? You know,
I know we debated that, and I don't think we ever got a straight answer.
It was like Condoleezza.
Like Condoleezza. Yeah. Is it Condoleezza or is it pizza? Flatizza. And the reason we never got a straight answer is I killed the product so quickly.
It did come and go immediately.
They don't make that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
So
there's no clamor for that to come back, like the Choco Taco.
No, there's no. The double Big Mac, all those things. Yeah. The thing that KFC has with the two chicken.
Double down.
Double down. Nobody wants the Flatizza back. Nobody remembers the Flatizza. Even the Noid from Domino's has come back, but not Flatizza. I killed that for good. I put that in the ground. The whole point is, I did my read for DraftKings. Yes. And at first I was ripping and reading, and then I thought, I'm going to do a little better on this. Because
a second take?
Yeah, because the ending is, problem gambling helpline, and it's a lot, it's very wordy, Okay. Go to
but
this.
It has to be in there.
Yeah.
That's mandatory.
Have to have it. And so I really tried to get it right, and then I did a little editing where I'd mess up and then edit it together, and that's what you hear. Well, over the weekend, I heard it on one of our competitors, and the guy just did it 1,000 times better. I can't even. He was so smooth, and I thought, man, he killed me on DraftKings.
Problem gambling? Call this helpline.
Yes. Yeah, he was so
smooth, calm.
Smooth as he could be, and I was like, oh, man, he just crushed me. It's no wonder I don't get any voiceover work.
Yeah,
that guy just crushed me.
That's the one thing. One of the major differences, obviously, with television and radio, because on television, when DraftKings comes to town, hey, it's Kevin Hart,
right?
Hey, it's Grunk, and on the bottom is all the stuff that you would have to normally read.
That's the
thing.
But
they just put it in tiny print on the bottom of a TV ad.
But there's no tiny print. Well, sometimes you can go real fast, but I don't know how to do that either. That's really tough when you start going. MSRP. I don't know.
Not valid in Kentucky or Mississippi.
Yeah, that's hard. And to try to speed that up. And so I was clunky with it. When I did the DraftKings,
Now, every time you hear it, you're going to hear the other guy's voice in your head who did it better.
I don't know who the other guy is, but he was wonderful. I mean, whoever he was on our competitor was as smooth as silk. And then, of course, Neckvember was a rip and read. Neckvember, that was...
Which, again, has also never come back.
No, they've killed... That
died on the vine.
Been killed. This was being read cold. Real nice prize for you today. $50 gift card to Horizon Med Spa. It's Neckvember at Horizon Med Spa. Yeah, we couldn't even go farther. You know? Dave. See that? Yeah. So we couldn't even go. I don't know why. That really caught him funny. The word Neckvember. It's the first time I'd ever seen the word Neckvember. So, I
still don't know. I'm still unclear on the concept, frankly.
Yeah, well, again, it never came back. Well, how would you know?
Yeah.
How would you possibly? Some sort of special they were running during November, and it was for your neck.
Is that for your underneath your chins?
Yes, and the sad part is, I can really use that. That's my thing. My neck is a real problem area for me, and my jowls. And so when they should be giving me that. And look, I ruined it for them.
They're gone.
I ruined it for all of us. Exactly. And also, I got behind today. We have a fantastic President's Week opening montage, but we talked about my eyeglasses and Rusty's disdain for President's Day and all that.
I think you're letting Rusty in your head.
I think you're right. You're right.
We know how you work, and people can get in there.
Yeah,
because we used to have a President's Week celebration.
Yes,
and that ended. We used to at least celebrate President's Day, which I still love. But now I think you let Rusty's emails get to you.
You're right,
and because you haven't had me even prepare a montage.
Nothing. I haven't compiled anything. And that's wrong. Next year, I want to bring back those presidential factoids.
I love them.
They were great. We used to do those all the time. And then, Rusty's like, it's not even President's Day. It's George Washington's birthday. You should stop there. And we went from stem to stern. We went from Washington all the way through Trump. We'd go on to Biden.
Yeah.
And we might come. Let's do it next year. We may go Trump, Biden, Trump.
Boom.
Could be.
Or we may not have a president
May
anymore.
not.
It could be a dictator's day.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen there. This was a great montage. Now, it stops with Obama because it was made during the Obama administration, but it's a great opening montage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
At times, history and fate meet at a single time.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
I assume the presidency under extraordinary circumstances never before experienced by America.
I do not promise you that this struggle for freedom will be easy.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Read my lips.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
That while we breathe, we hope. And where we are met with cynicism and doubt, and those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
Gives me chills. When I hear that, it gives me chills. That ending, that speech, been downhill ever since, but that was really good. I love that. It does give me chills.
I don't know if we want to add to that.
No, that's we'll clip,
next two.
Clip it right there. The next two are Trump and now Biden.
Biden, yeah. I don't know if we'd get great sound clips.
No.
His would be, my girl right there. And Biden's would just be, I like
ice cream.
Yeah.
Trump is the S-hole countries.
Yeah.
And Biden's, oh, God, I got to go up those stairs. All those stairs. They don't have an escalator at Air Force. They don't.
Just leave it at that. Just leave it with Obama, because after that, it's just been like, oh, my God. I mean, as far as the sound clips go.
Biden is every person who, when they spin the iPad around for a tip now. I don't even see it.
I don't know
how do I
don't know how to do this. Do you know, here's a presidential factoid. Jimmy Carter has been in hospice care 1 year today. It has been a year, which I thought hospice care was like a month, and that's it.
I mean, still, sadly, it's one of those things that you learn. That's how you learn the word.
Yes.
I mean, it usually means someone is their death is imminent.
Of course. And now he's been there a year, and he turns 100 in October. And he could be the first president ever to get to 100 years old, Jimmy Carter. He's the new Betty White because he's so beloved, maybe more than. He's that age, and he's beloved.
But no one has really seen him with the exception of his wife's funeral, correct?
That's it.
Yeah.
In the past, really, 12 months.
And he did not look good at that.
No, he's unwell for sure.
Yeah.
But, he's almost 100, and he's still able to speak, at least, at that event. I saw a couple of other things online about presidents, and this was one I thought was interesting. If Hillary Clinton had been elected president, she would have to go to work every day for 4 years in the same office where her husband got his favors from Monica Lewinsky. I'd be thinking about that if I was her when I was in there. Sitting at that desk, I'd be thinking, look.
Would you redo it? Do you knock down the wall?
Absolutely. I would totally change that whole thing. Now, I'd keep it oval. Because I think
you kind of have to.
You have to. But I would get a new rug.
You got to replace the chair.
The desk?
The desk has to go.
The desk never goes. That has to.
I want it gone. I'm sorry. I want that gone.
There's only like 2 or 3, right? That presidential desks at the White House.
Is this latest one the Kennedy desk? Is that the one?
I believe it is. Yeah. That's.
I read about that. It's been over the years,
there
few.
There are a couple of different names of the desks.
But that Kennedy one, remember little John would be under the desk playing, and then years later, Monica Lewinsky under there. And yes, if I was Hillary Clinton, now it didn't happen.
That's your presidential factoid?
It's fallen so far. Biggie's right.
Man.
Things fallen so far.
It's beach themed?
Yeah. I would have changed there. I'd have gotten rid of the drapes.
You flat teats at President's Week.
I did. I just flat teats. That's exactly right.
I don't know if you guys could know this, but can we order something from Temu?
Yes.
I've seen the commercials.
That's what I would do.
Madam President, that's a Chinese company. I would ixnay on the emoter.
Absolutely. I would have done something. I'd gone on to Etsy or somewhere and gotten something new. I'd do new drapes, new desk, all of it. Do it completely over again. Pier 1, if there was such a thing.
I think they may be gone, ma'am.
Get me Pier 1 on the line. They're gone.
Can we get some wicker in here? I guess we can.
They're gone.
You want me to ask the heads of state of China and Russia to sit in a papasan chair?
Yes. Yes, I do. I want this whole thing changed. I don't want any remnants of what happened in this room in the 90s. Wanda Sykes talks about aging presidents.
Presidents, they've all aged while in office, right? They age while in office because the job is so stressful that it affects you physically. We've seen it. Obama, first 2 years, President Obama went totally gray. His face started drooping, got all droopy in the face. One time I was like, is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? George W. Bush, he shrunk 4 inches. At one point, he was looking like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. My precious! Bill Clinton, he grew that bulb on the tip of his nose. Bill Clinton looked like the man on the operation board.
She's right. It's stressful. They age a lot, as you know. Look at poor Biden. Jeez, talk about aging.